recording. Oh, after a long day, we had some really big hiccups when it came to streaming and recording and everything else. This was just a mess of a day. Hopefully, we get a little bit more than 60 seconds, which has been what my problem has been all day. We'll go to stream for 60 seconds. We're told that the vibe is good, the stream is good, and then all of a sudden it just drops off. And I'm like, I have no idea what's going on or why it's happening. So we're still holding good at excellent connection. So let's just jump right into it. So we're going to start the attack box like we did earlier, but now we have to do it because, well, I've had so many problems that streaming isn't the easiest thing to do. So we're going to start at our attack box to simulate the machine that we're going to be using to attack the system. Okay, normally I'm usually a lot more in depth with some of these descriptions, but today I'm just exhausted. Okay, so you can see, where's the machine? Give me the machine. Okay. So this is going to be the attacker machine, and this is going to be the target machine. Now, the target machine is the one where we're going after. The attacker machine is the one we are. Okay, this is the machine we're using with all the information that TryHackMe has provided as a machine that we are using to target this machine. Now, we will go through and we'll target the attack box once it starts up and loads. Again, I am very, very sorry for all the issues. We had a lot of technical difficulties over here, but it looks like we're up and running now. My advice, if you want to start streaming, don't. But so far I'm having fun. Okay. So IDOR stands for Insecure Direct Object Reference, and it's a type of access control vulnerability. Web applications often used to determine what data is returned when making a request. However, if the web server doesn't perform checks to ensure that you are allowed to view the data before sending it, it can lead to sensitive data disclosure. So, why does this happen? We need to understand references and web development a bit more to understand this and answer this. Let's take a look at what table storing these package numbers from our link could look like. So package ID, person, address, and status. So that's pretty much straightforward. This is going to be 1, 2, 3, and 4. Alice, Bob, Carol, Daniel, and Eve, and these are the addresses. Delivered in transit, out for delivery, pending, and returned. Those are all the options in this database that are going to be defined by the website in which we're taking care of. So this would fall into line of somewhat of an SQL injection or SQL query, which is a structured query language. And if you look at it, we look at the structured right now to query whatever we need to get. So the structure would be select person, address, status from packages where ID is valued. So all this information that we built into the database is going to be right here in the SQL query. And it's actually the most common type of HTTP cross-site scripting sort of injection hacking that there is. SQL attacks come and happen quite a bit. However, since package ID is a sequential number, it becomes pretty obvious to guess that the package IDs of other customers, and since the web application isn't verifying that the person making these requests is the same person as the one who owns the package, and or IDOR vulnerability appears, allowing attackers to recover details from the packages belonging to others. Even worse, when a feature like this doesn't require us to user authenticate, then there'd be no way to even tell who is making the request. To dive a bit deeper, we need to understand authentication, authorization, and privilege escalation. This is going to be a deep one for you guys, so I hope you guys are, well, now that my stream is fixed, I hope you guys are ready to go. To understand the root cause of IDOR, it is important to understand the basic principles of authentication and authorization. Authentication is is the process by which you verify who you are. Authorization is the process by which the web application verifies your permission. You may think that authentication only happens once you supply your username and password, but it is actually not the case. After providing your credentials, you receive a cookie or a token called the session information. That's one of those things that you guys see when you say here it says that cookies are used when you're activating and accessing this website. That's what it's about. Every subsequent request you make to the application includes a session information, which is verified by the application. The initial verification process is still authentication, and it happens for each request. This is why websites will often redirect you to a login page. It means that your session information has expired, and thus you need to re-authenticate with your credentials to receive new session information. Authorization cannot happen before authentication. So you have to prove who you are before you have to prove your credentials are valid. If the application doesn't know who you are, you cannot verify what permission you have to use. This is very important to remember. If IDOR doesn't require you to authenticate login or provide session information, such as in our packages tracking example, we will have a fixed authentication before we can fix authorization. Issue of making sure that users can only get information about packages they own. So all that really kind of makes quite a bit of sense. The last bit of theory to cover is privilege escalation. Privilege escalation is meaning that you have X amount of privilege. You want to go from a user to an admin, a user to a root, a user to a person with more privileges than you have, which is considered vertical privilege escalation. Horizontal privilege escalation is going from a one-to-one user. So if I have that's more for lateral movement, but if you want to go from my credentials to your credentials and we're both on the same page, both same authentication, then so that'd be basically exactly how that sounds, one-to-one transfer. So privilege escalation, vertical privilege escalation refers to privilege escalation where you can gain access to more features. Horizontal privilege escalation refers to privilege escalation where you use a feature you are authorized to use but gain access to data that you're not allowed to access. For example, you should only be able to see your account, not someone else's account. So that's sort of the one-to-one transfer I was talking about. IDOR is usually a form of horizontal privilege escalation. You're not allowed to make higher admin credential queries, but you are allowed to make other within your groups. You are allowed to make use of the track package functionality, but you should be restricted to performing the attack that tracking action for packages that you own. Now that you understand the theory, let's look on how IDOR let's look how to exploit IDOR practically. Iterate digits, observe responses. You can see how they're doing all this where they're keeping the same acronym 1, 2, 3, 4 for IDOR. Let's start with the simplest example of IDOR on a web application. Let's authenticate to the application using the details below. So we're going to go to here. We're going to come over here. We're going to go to this website. This might be on the attackers, but we'll get to it. Yep. Come on. Yeah, it was a heck of a day today, guys. If you guys are listening to this, I just got my pen test, my CompTIA pen test, and that was a crazy, crazy day. As well as just I didn't sleep for the last few nights because I was, practicing for it. So I'm tired, and then by the time I started to stream, my whole streaming setup crashed, and I had to basically refix everything in a very brief moment of time. Come on now, let's go. Username and password, so Niels, TryHackMe. I should have just done it this way. just do the HTTP dot dot dot. Okay, let's go. Let's go. Okay. Once authenticated. I really wish that TryHackMe would be better at some of the bandwidth or something along those lines, because this is just always takes forever. And of course, you have to operate it inside their, their website. Boop. And there's nothing else streaming on my end, so. Look at this. Look at this CPU usage. Insane. Okay, I didn't want to do that. That's just yours. I wanted to do this to mine. Okay. Well, we'll just keep it the same then. Let's start by using developer tools. While we wait for this to go. Yeah, let's see if I can get it through here. HTTP what was it? 10. 65.1. Oh yeah, that's way better. Okay, and we're gonna authenticate with Niels. Yes. Nope. Well, let's just copy this guy. Drop it in here. And we're going to grab it. And we're going to copy it. And we're going to just drop that in there. Okay. So, I'm actually going to pop this out so I don't have to be dealing with the same page. And we're going to exit the deal. So this is a lot easier for me to see. And what it's basically going to sit here and say, once authenticated, you should see a dashboard like this. Bilbo, Johnny, Terse, Tess. Yep. And my vouchers, claim voucher. Let's start by opening the developer in our browser. So we're going to go here. We're going to pop you all the way out. Let's go here. And to get your developer tools, just going to go here to inspect, and this is going to get you all the information you're going to need. And as you can see, it comes back with a plethora of information. We're going to go to network. We're going to see network traffic. Now, network traffic won't show up until you refresh the page. So once you refresh not the TryHackMe page, but the actual website for the Mozilla. Yeah, right here. Sorry about this. There it is. And this is all the information that would be coming through. The next thing they want us to do is to better understand what's happening. Right click on inspect on the network. Now let's refresh and we start getting the request. Now view accounts is the one we're going to be looking at for user ID 10. Let's take a close look at that. So click on it and you'll see the following. So do we have user 10? We don't. Well, let's claim voucher. Did they ask us to do anything else? Or is it just me being extraordinarily fast and doing nothing? I see the dashboard the way it's supposed to be. Start by using developer tools. Better understand. Right click on inspect. Okay, yeah, I didn't get that. So we're just going to do this again. Oh, no, it's right there. Alright. Sorry. I'm trying to breeze right through this considering I was basically late to get in. Every day at 8 o'clock, I'm going to be here tomorrow during the daytime hours. I'm going to try to get these out before. So, catch me tomorrow at 1 o'clock tomorrow. So this is going to be the API parents view account user ID, which is pretty much the exact same thing you're going to find here. click on it, and you will see the following, which is exactly what we see. The status is going to come back with OK. In the above image, you can see that the user ID has a value of 10, which was used for the request. If we click on the response tab, we can see that the user ID corresponds to our user. So we'll go back over here. We'll go back to the request and response, and here it is. Now we want to come through here, and we can see here and say that this tells us that the application is using our user ID as a reference for getting detail. Let's see what happens when we change this in the developer tools and navigate to the storage tab and expand the local storage drop down on the left side of the menu. So let's go. What is just tell me to user ID? What was I supposed to? Storage. For some reason, my brain is all over the place. Storage. Local storage. Is that right? User ID, Niels. Right? Yep. And look inside it. Let's change the user ID to 11 to see what happens. So, can we do that from in here? Nope. Where is it that they want us to do that from? User auth. Okay. Let's change the user ID 11. If it happens. Double click on the value field. And what? And press enter and refresh the page. So we got that. Now we refresh the page, and we should be coming out with new user information. Let's drop this down a little bit, and we can see that there's no. This is a completely different view. All right. All of a sudden you see like a completely different user. This is the simplest form of IDOR. Simply changing the user ID to something else means that we can see other users' data. Some IDORs might be slightly more hidden. Just because you won't see the direct number doesn't mean it doesn't exist. So let's dive deeper. Let's continue on to our next challenge. Let's see. Was that an actual question though? What is, let's see, insecure direct object reflection object reflection. My brain is super burnt out, so see, it stands for what? IDOR on the shelf. Object reflection, I thought it was, right? Nope. Reference. Object reference. I am literally done today. I am not here. I did not expect for me to get caught up with that. What type of privileges escalation are horizontal. These are going to be no answer. So, we're just going to check these out. If you enjoy your room bonus task, we'll get to that another day. So, exploiting IDOR, we found view accounts parameter. What is the user of a parent that has 10 children? Oy. Okay, so let's figure out what we have to do from here. We're not done yet, so we probably have more to do. We found that this is my children. So we found earlier Am I where I'm supposed to be? No, in the DevTools. Okay, so we were right here. We checked all of this. User ID. So use components. Blah. User ID. We can change it. And in disguise, obvious references. Sometimes IDOR may not be as simple as just a number. In certain cases, encoding may have been used on a loaded profile. Blink of an eye next to. Click on the icon next to the first child as shown in the image below. Okay, so the eye icon. We have to go back, don't we? Not that far back. We need to go. Where were we? Let's see. Parent dashboard. Go to anything else. No. Let's close you guys real quick. Add your first child. Don't add any kids. This is not what I want. Why can't I go back? Boop. Boop. Not heck with it. HTTP. 10. What was it? 6.5. 134. 134.72. 134. 1. Okay. Oh no, it's over there. The hell did I do wrong then? Oh boy. Did I do something wrong? Inspect. Might actually have to change out back the local storage. Might have to change it back. Sometimes. I'm always moving. Yeah, you have to move back. Okay, so in here, you have to come back over here, double click. Right. And you're coming back here. And this makes sense because this is always going to tell you that we're now looking for user ID 11. So even if you refresh it, it's going to refresh it to user ID 11. So with that said, we will refresh it here. And look, we should be back. Oh, don't prove me wrong. Come on now. I did do enter, right? Alright, now let's see if that will work. Okay, thank God. I'm not breaking the websites. Not that I know of anyway. Okie dokie. Okay, so we're gonna go over here. Booyah. And now what do they want? Okay. So we're all caught up. So we clicked on the eye shown as below. Now go to the network tab and look at requests. So we're going to go back here. We're going to go over here, requests. We'll come over here to the network and we will see refresh. Come on now. Refresh. And I gotta stop doing that. Sometimes I just do that because it's just out of my habit and nature to refresh from the actual, what do you call it? The actual browser itself and not the TryHackMe browser. So we went to network. We're looking for requests. Where are you requests? I think it should be in here somewhere. Requests. Oh boy, didn't mean to blow that all the way out. This is JSON. Now all we need. We can go back. Okay. Yeah, so I hit that instead. Oh. Now go to the network tape. That request be made. Okay. There it is. And we don't need to see all this. back to the headers. I thought they were asking for the request though. Okay, well, come on now. No header for this request. Sure, there's not. God damn. What's the hold up here, guys? Simply put, the MSG is just base 64 encoded version of number 2. You could still perform IDOR, but you'd have to encode. But you'd have to base encode your numbers first. We don't want to do that, do we? Yeah. Which is interesting. That's not working though. So hold on. Yeah. So if I click on this guy, this is a GET request. I had to oh, there it is. But why are you being a dick to me now? Stop showing that. I don't want the JSON output. There it is. So this is exactly what they were talking about, and then it would be converted from base 64. I'm not going to go into base 64 right now, only because I'm super tired, and we already went. I already went through a lot of stuff, so I'm not going to be doing that right now. But I'll be explaining base 64 in another video. Encoding isn't the only thing that can be used to hide potential IDOR vulnerabilities. Sometimes the value might look like a hash. If you're not familiar with hash, this is also something I'm not going to cover in this video, but I will in future videos, such as MD5 and SHA-1. If you want to see what that would look like, take a look at the request and see what happens to when you click on the icon next to the child. We're not going to do that. I don't think we need to do that. I need to find what. While a string may look random, upon further investigation, you can see what type of hash it is. If you understand, if we understand what value was used to generate a hash, we perform an IDOR attack, simply replicating the hash function using something like hash ID can help you quickly understand what hashing algorithms is used, and it can tell you what is being hashed. It's deterministic, obviously reproducible. Sometimes you have to dig quite deep for IDOR. Sometimes IDOR is clear. Sometimes the IDOR stems from the actual algorithm being used. In this case, let's take a look at our vouchers. While the values may look random, we need to investigate the algorithm, what was used to generate them. Their format looks like UUID, so let's look at the website, such as UUID decoder. I didn't even know it was a thing. That's actually something we open up in a different tab. Okay, hold on. I think it's just going to be using the test and change the ID. Okay, so I guess this is going to be that simple. So all we're going to be doing here is exploiting the IDOR. What is the user if that has 10 kids? So okay. Once again, we don't want to be here. We want to be right here. We want to click on the local storage. We want to go to local storage. Come here. We're going to try to modify this. I'm going to try to find the person who has 10 kids. And it says now if we cycle through this from one on, that we'll be able to alter it and get the information that we need. So let's just do that right now. I'm going to go just straight up one. We're going to enter. We're going to cycle through that one. Now we know it's not going to be the case because of the fact that there was local storage. There was a 2-digit in the question, so we can only assume that somebody here within the next 3 has multiple local storage. Come here, maybe user number 12, and we'll go through cycling that. And we will run it through there. How many kids does this person have? No kids. Right, that's right. It might be 06. Let's see if it's an 01 number. It might be 01, it might be 1, it might be not. Okay, so let's go 01. Cycle through that. And this is just really what you're going to have to do. Nope. Not what I wanted to do. Let's try Neil's though, because and what was the password? TryHackMe 123. I think we'll pass that, right? And if I'm boring you guys, I am sorry. I know I have a very monotone voice. So, once again, if I'm boring you, we're almost done. Okie dokie. Bad credentials. It is Neil's, isn't it? Yep. Interesting. So that might not be what I even need to get through to before. If this is still the broken authentication. Oh boy, what did I do? I broke it. Yeah, okay, so okay. Let's see if we can go back a few so I don't have to deal with this. TryHackMe comes from Neil's. And actually, you know what? Let's just do it this way. No. What was it? 72? 165.72. 72. Come on now. Local storage. Okay, so something that I did there was messing up. Let's go with 1, 2. Oh, yeah, unfortunately, I don't think that. Oh, wait, no. Maybe 2 was the right one. I don't think I refreshed. How the hell did that happen? I might just bad credentials. Oh, brother. Go do this differently, for sure. Jesus. Wow. Really? Finally, and we can end today on a note. Odd note. We did it. Um, so yeah, tomorrow we'll be doing this at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I have my streaming set up to be ready to go. Hopefully, there's no hiccups there, and I will get back to you tomorrow with the next advent of cyber. Um, what is it? Let's see what it is for tomorrow. Now I am completely new to streaming, so any tips, tricks, or anything that you guys could think of that can make me better at this, uh, malware and analysis, awesome. Um, yeah, anything you guys could think about that would make me a little bit better at this, all help is gratefully appreciated. And I will look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow, 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and I will talk to you then. Until then, have a great day.